Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Pretty much started on time. What was holding up the start of this live stream was I set up a very basic version of my VCR ripping hardware today. So what I'm using is a Roxio HD game cap or whatever it's called. I picked it up from a charity shop for £15, which was a lot, a couple of months ago. The VCR I picked up for a tenner recently. Computer monitor. I was planning to split through to that, but I don't have another SCART cable on hand, so I didn't split it. I just pumped everything through the laptop, through a cheap Chinese SCART to HDMI upscaler that I used to use for PS2 games years ago. It's how I recorded the footage for like Motion Gravure and a couple of other of those PS2 Sushi Bites. So using that SCART upscaler, VCR into it, into XSplit, I did a test recording of a VHS tape. I did a test recording of the Digimon movie all the way from start to finish. Just because it was something I had on hand. It was something interesting that, I didn't mind having on in the background while I was working. I didn't want it to be something that I would be paying attention to, because I had other stuff that I needed to get done. Mainly putting more stickers on the shelves. But it turns out that the Roxio capture software is garbage and barely works ever. So I had to rip the VHS tape using XSplit. And XSplit cut it into 2 gigabyte chunks. And there's about like 10 chunks. So that's not convenient. I need to figure out a better solution to ripping VHS tapes than using XSplit. But XSplit is an option. It's just not a great option. Right, next on the agenda is getting a second VCR. So I can start doing video mixtapes. And I need to locate one of my SCART cables. I thought I had a bunch of SCART cables spare, but I couldn't find one. So I'll have a dig tomorrow when I sort out some of the miscellanea in this room. Stuff that's going to be useful in the office. Escape the Dark Presence. Oh, it didn't count that we had completed the chapter. Actually, that makes sense, because I didn't get the trophy for it. It was like, she takes you to the well-lit room. It's like, but I should have that trophy. I've been taken to the well-lit room. So we can skip the cutscenes here. Or we could watch them again and sort of remind ourselves what's going on. So, I mean, I've been to sleep since then. Alan, please! No need to be so violent. So I'm looking forward to finishing this tonight. Can't be that far off.
Take it, and I won't need to worry about the room anymore, because 6 and 33 and 118 need changing soon, and I don't want to climb up the ladder to change them because it's very late and I'm tired. And if you take it, I won't have to do that anymore.
The page was autobiographical.
This
a
is...
memory from my childhood.
Alan was afraid of the dark. He wet his pants. His mother gave him a little clicker that made the monsters in his head go away.
Would fight sleep to the bitter end. When he did sleep, he soon woke up.
And that's where we are.
Nightmares fresh in his mind. One evening, his mother...
It feels so great to have a weight off my shoulders having finished the Martian Panic review. That's a very hard game to talk about, because just the Wii version is superior in every way, shape and form. And I can't exactly go into a review and say, download and emulate the Wii version, because that would not be professional.
Now, almost 30 years later, Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, the clicker.
I stand by what I said. $5 or $10 on a Steam sale.
My mind
Yeah,
swirled.
it's worth that.
I'd given the clicker to Alice, yet it was here. Zane had written it into existence in a story.
Today I redeemed a code for Reloaded on Steam. It's been re-released. It's the DOS version in like a DOS box wrapper. Controller support, which is nice, but it is the original DOS release. So all the warts and issues with that original DOS release are still present.
Previously on Alan Wake, I wrote a horror story that has come true. Thomas Zane did the same in the 70s.
You will go no further.
If I continue like the Dark Presence wants me to, the story I'm writing won't save Alice. It's a horror story. No one will survive.
You knew Zane! Thomas Zane! You're the Lady of the Light in the song!
He left something behind to help me. The clicker.
Alan thought of this as he stood on the.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. So XSplit actually keeps your settings between machines.
I can get to her now. I can finish this.
So it had noticed that I dragged the volume up on the laptop, and the volume was dragged up here. I have to keep in mind that for resolution as well. If I decide I'm going to drop VHS rips to 576p, I need to remember to switch it back to 1080p before I stream. Otherwise, I'll run into some issues.
I had a hangover. My head was about to explode and the light hurt my eyes. I needed my sunglasses and painkillers to dull the pain. In one of my finer moments of self-deception, I swore to quit drinking.
Pick up glasses.
The sunglasses made the world look bearable. Now I could keep my eyes open without feeling like a...
Did Alan always hate sunshine? I always loved the dark. And my wife, she always loved the sunshine. What can I say? Opposites attract.
The pills worked fast. The prospect of being awake started to seem bearable again.
Take a shit. Take a shit.
There was
Leave
a
the
message
boudoir.
waiting for me on the machine.
Alan Wake. The sudden stop. Return to sender. What I can't forget. Alex Casey. The thing that I want. The fall of Casey. The fall of Max Payne. Alex Casey is Max Payne.
You have one new message.
Al! Are you still asleep? Wakey, wakey! You should have your show on your TiVo. If Alice wasn't too mad to record it. Yeah, she called me earlier and really chewed me out. Yeah, we went a little overboard last night. But parties are a part of this business. Al, look, I'm saying this as your friend. She's not doing your career any favors by trying to run your life like that, okay? I'll talk to you later, Al. Watch the show!
I entered my wife's study. I destroyed all her books.
I'd been a guest on the talk show the previous night, talking about my latest book. The show was supposed to be waiting for me on our TiVo.
Yo, nice apartment. Nice balcony. Oh, nice fog effect. Oh, nice sofa. Oh, nice chair. Oh. Oh, it's the actual actors.
Thank you, everybody. We have a great show tonight. I've been talking with the best-selling author Alan Wake about his new book, The Sudden Stop. Yeah, good read. Go buy it. No,
Hey, that's Sam Lake. That's fucking Sam Lake.
Is that wise? No, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Show me Sam Lake.
People give me the lowdown on
Hey,
books.
Jacob.
I'm a busy guy, but this one I actually
Show me Sam Lake. Sam Lake's on that couch.
I'm a big fan. Wow, thanks. Now, this might be a spoiler for those who haven't read the book yet. Based on the sales figures, the 2 people out there who haven't read the book yet. But this last book is
Hard-boiled New York detective Max Payne.
the hard-boiled New York detective Alex Casey. Now, there's been a lot of outrage about this. Why the hell did you kill Casey? What the hell were you thinking, man?
Good riddance. No, seriously though. 7 years and 6 books is a long time. He was a gloomy guy to spend all your working hours with, and it was a good run. But it's time to explore new things. My next book will be a departure from the old for me.
You selfish bastard, always thinking of yourself. Well, you've certainly given us a lot of entertainment over the years. And now that you mention it, Casey was a gloomy guy. Never had.
I don't want to think about it. I really don't.
Was that
It's looking worse and worse, and I just
Yeah, no kidding. Casey's lady friends tended to die on him. With Casey, it was all
just
about
the whole
No, nothing
like
autobiographical about that. I'm a happy
console war
man.
thing
My
is
wife
just
is my
draining.
Well, congratulations. That's great to hear. So, how's the publicity tour been treating you?
Nice haircut.
Great.
When?
I gotta say, I'm glad
This is sweat. This is what happens when you've been
Lots of parties.
in an office like carrying stuff around for days. Your hair goes
Oh man.
puffs up
That guy was really
with
in
all
my
the
face.
sweat.
I know that wasn't
It's
You were
ugh.
famous for that
It's
too.
horrible.
I did also write several books.
Well, your latest novel is called The Sudden Stop, and it's in bookstores now. Go get it. That means the 2 of you out there who haven't bought it yet. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for you tonight. I want to thank all our guests for the evening. Alan Wake, Sam Lake. Once more, do the face for a Sam. And our musical guests, Poets of the Fall. Thank you.
At least I've been funny. I told myself I could
Is that
live with
Poets of the Fall?
I didn't say anything stupid if that's what you want to know.
Okay, Grumpy. You want an aspirin or something?
Are you gonna start with me about drinking now?
You know what? Go back to sleep, Alan.
She was trying to be nice.
What? Now you can't even talk to me?
Well, this morning I was angry because you said you'd be home at midnight and you showed up at 7 a.m. and passed out in mid-sentence. Now I'm over it. Are you angry?
This goddamn tour. It's gotten out of hand.
Oh, honey. It's almost over, right? We can get back to normal. Then you can start writing again.
I'm sorry, honey.
Alan, you're not thinking straight.
Take a shower,
Take a
Alan.
shower and go back to bed, huh?
Yeah, you're right, honey. I'm sorry. Once this is over, let's go away together. A vacation. Just you and me. Some peace and quiet.
And we keep driving through the night. Wrong game.
Somehow, the clicker was the key to the cabin. I had to return to Cauldron Lake to save Alice. I'm going back to the lake to finish this. I'm going to write an ending to the story in the manuscript on my own terms, to make it all right.
Why can't you just write it here?
The last page is still in the typewriter. I need to read it first. Everything needs to be just right. Zane tried to cut some corners, and it didn't end well.
Okay, ready when you are.
I'm sorry.
Counting the
but I need to do
stars
this.
in your
Take
eyes,
her gun.
forgetting you ever told me lies. This has been a wild week. It really has.
Good luck, Al.
See you later.
But hey, when my assistant manager came to me and said,
It was warm and sunny.
"Do you want a week off at the end of the month?"
The clicker. Had it done this?
I had no idea then that I was going to spend that week off
Sunlight to get to the lake. On Zane's
obliterating the
room
office
of Cauldron
and
Lake.
turning it into a space I can actually use to get stuff done. a proper separated place.
Alone, in daylight, surrounded by the beauty of the Pacific.
Right, now there's a trophy for getting from here to Cauldron Lake without firing a bullet. Oh, fuck that up.
I had enough imagination to make up something like this. Having been in the cabin all this time, trapped in a story inside my head, gone mad from grief over Alice's death like Hartman had claimed, there would be no way of knowing. I told myself it didn't really matter. My course was set.
Now, the videotape I ripped ended up being about 20 gig and and in several chunks, but the important thing is that I've proven it's possible. Now I work on making the system more efficient. One of the things about it is, you know, I'm having to watch the tapes in full, you know? Like, I can't sit there and like press rip and it's like dun 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 done, you know. It has to play in full duration. That's always the case. It's an analog medium. There's no other way about it. The only way to rip it is to play it. Now, that said, there's got to be better ways to right, yeah, so I want to get another well, actually, I need to figure out where the fuck my DVD recorder is, because I've got a DVD recorder somewhere. So what you do is you burn footage onto a DVD disc. Sorry, not a DVD disc. You record footage onto a DVD-R. Then you play it in the DVD player and feed it into the VCR and record it into the VCR. Then you play your recording back and you get VHS effects. There was something you posted, yeah. Why couldn't the game have been open world like this? Look how much better this is! Oh, there's a guy who does it as a business. I've thought about whether or not I could run a business, you know, with what I've got set up. I'm not so sure I'd want to, because then I'd be beholden to customers' wants, you know. If there's a better way of doing something and the customer demands they want it done the stupid way, you're like, well, gotta do it the stupid way, because that's what the customer wants. We're getting a better Alan Wake, though, so I would say Remedy was right to turn down the pitch. I still would like to see Microsoft acquire Remedy, because that's a match made in heaven. I don't think it would happen, but I'd love to see it. Is there a door on this building? Well, not one that I can open, but there is a thermos. So this game has a persistent open world, but the game is linear, and you can't leave the open world. And that's a remnant from when this game was meant to be open world. So you've got this chapter here where you've got a large open area, and it's the only example, really, of a large open area in this game, outside of a little bit of driving earlier on in There was a little bit of driving between the apartments, like the place where you think you're going to fight a bear and then you don't. There was a little bit of driving there in a sort of largish open area, and then
The darkness had touched me. There was a link between us. Always would be. I could feel its presence again.
yeah, this game has a large open world that it just doesn't do anything with. Yeah, good luck getting to Cauldron Lake from the dam without firing a weapon. I'm not stupid. What's the button to flash the headlights? It was A. X. X, A. Is that a car I haven't driven yet? Must drive every car. Yeah, I'm curious about that. Like, a Princess Peach sort of, like, stage show game? You know, the stage show mechanic is a very important part of Super Mario Bros. 3, right? The whole game takes place in like a theater stage production. And it looks like the Princess Peach game takes place on like a theater stage production. So I'm curious. Peach had her own game on the Nintendo DS. Super Princess Peach. A fun fact about buying that game, right? Back when the Nintendo DS came out over here, it was still cheaper to import Nintendo DS games from America, especially if they weren't, like, coming out here for a while. And because the Nintendo DS was region-free, I used to import DS games. Of course, I didn't have an eBay account. My dad did. So I'm explaining to my dad, right? I want to buy this game off eBay. Here's my money, right? He's like, Super Princess Peach. That sounds dirty. That's not a dirty game, is it? I'm like, no. Oh dear. You thought it sounded like a dirty game. I wonder if he'd heard of Peach Princess, which is a Japanese series that is dirty. Super Princess is Peach. Well, you can understand, you know, that the name might sound a bit suspect, but no. Super Princess Peach is fine, you know, just because the lady on the front cover is making a kissy face, and there's a bunch of hearts on the front cover, doesn't mean it's an adult game. Yeah, but I played that fucking extensively when I got that game. I played that so much. I do love me some Super Princess Peach. It's way too easy, but it's a big recommend.
Nightingale had stayed when he hadn't been busy harassing me.
Photos of the townsfolk, huh? This Nightingale is a bad egg.
Could have fooled me, pal.
Yeah, far too easy, Super Princess Peach. I still didn't manage to 100% it. I think I was missing one collectible. Unfortunately, my brother took it with him on holiday, and a bottle of Clearasil exploded in his bag, and it basically destroyed the GameCube that he took with him and the Nintendo DS games that he took with him. I swear I'm not bitter. I swear I'm not bitter that he destroyed my favorite Nintendo DS game. Yeah, but that GameCube since, like, I'm having controller issues. What the fuck's going on? Yeah, I think I was using the GameCube that had the Clearasil explode in it, which explains why I was having so many controller issues with that one GameCube. Ooh, that car has a light. Switching car. Dark Moon on 3DS. I'm glad that that's coming to... Did you hear that Final Fantasy 16 on PS5 overheats the console? What? During the summer, when the temperature is much higher? You know that last year, Nintendo was giving out warnings, don't play... Alright, fuck off, mate. Just because I pulled you out of the dock doesn't mean I want to play with you, alright? Nintendo was saying last year, during the summer, that don't play your Nintendo Switch in this heat. If you're playing a console that is known to get warm in the heat, presumably in a not well ventilated area, a console that's probably full of dust, I would say expect to run into issues. There were people saying their Xboxes were overheating during Redfall, if you remember. It didn't hit the news, and it didn't become a news story then, so why is Final Fantasy 16 turning it into a news story now? I'll let you know how bad the overheat issue is when my copy of Final Fantasy 16 arrives. Because thanks to mainly Johnny and Vlad convincing me, mostly Vlad convincing me, I ended up clicking buy last night on a copy of Final Fantasy 16. So I'll let you know how much Final Fantasy 16 causes consoles to overheat. We'll see firsthand if it does. Poor Vlad. Just because he lives in, you know, Transylvania and he has the name Vlad doesn't mean he's an animal. Yeah, peer pressure. But it's not like it was peer pressure, oh, do drugs. It was peer pressure like, oh, buy a PS5 game. It's like, okay, fine. Here's how I justified it, alright? I had, what, £16 of credit? Oh, come on! Anybody could walk across that. Alan, oh, don't be such a baby! Pennsylvania. Transylvania. Lives in Romania. Ah, I suck your blood. Yeah, etc., etc.
What the hell?
Yeah. Oh. You're meant to do this bit without firing a bullet for a trophy. Alright, take care, Jacob. I look forward to our Final Fantasy 16 streams. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun time. Change difficulty. Are you sure you want to enter Babby mode? How is Babby mode? How girl get pregnant? The whole items, like, the whole obstacles coming alive thing in this game is shit. They need to do away and stain mother. Who killed Babby, cause they can't fricked back? This whole section is just baloney. Oh.
Nice to see you too.
Right. How's that, huh? Not so hard now, are you? So, American Nightmare. Is that still only on PC and Xbox? .360 and Windows. It's playable on Xbox One and Series. I'm pretty sure I have it. If I don't, it's like $10. I'm sure I have it on GOG. That rings a bell. I feel like I've got both Alan Wakes on GOG. Because some mods only worked on the GOG version of Alan Wake, and some mods only worked on the Steam version. So I ended up buying Alan Wake on both. Pretty sure I own American Nightmare on GOG. Look like I should have a car here. My car got caught on something. I couldn't reverse. They did a good job with this remaster. It still feels like a 360 game. And it still kind of looks a little bit like a 360 game. They did enough to sort of spruce it up a little. And they added things to this that helps integrate it more with Control and Quantum Break and the other Remedy titles. Oh, get in the fucking car. Wrong button. Keep trying to press circle instead of X. It's almost like circle makes more sense. Love the way it screams. Blade Runner 2033. Is that when it's due out? Apparently that re-release of the Blade Runner game for PC was like really bad or something. I'm curious about how Beyond a Steel Sky turned out. Because I like the original. That's very Blade Runner-y as well. Annapurna's first in-house game. Ooh. So a lot of Annapurna news today. Oh, so the Blade Runner game will drop on Game Pass then. Because Jacob said something about all the Annapurna stuff dropping on Game Pass. Or most of it. Consider me excited for that. Why this many enemies? What the fuck's going on? Right, that's it. I'm gonna fucking run for it. Sometimes it's just not worth it. Give me a car and then they block the road again. Aha! Is there a path that I missed? Yeah. So Annapurna have only ever published things before.
I had to get the gate open.
Smile. You are being watched by our video surveillance camera. Is ready for all the enemies to spawn, because I opened it. Yep. Could set your fucking watch by it! Imagine punishing the player for getting items. If the game didn't do that one thing, I think I would love it so much more. Punish the player for finding a gun. Imagine doing that. Pick up flare gun. Pick up flashbang. Pick up guy with a sickle. He just came out of fucking no. Oh, wasted. Why does it auto equip? Son of a bitch. Come on, Remedy. Oh, shit. Okay. Whee! We'll let you have a car. We'll let you drive it for precisely 4.28 seconds, and then you're not allowed to use the car anymore. I missed a flare. Back up I go. Press the buttons while being chased around by shadow people. Easy. They're only going to be high enough for Alan to go under. Will I be able to take a car? Let's try it. Is there another chapter after this? Maybe I won't finish it today then. I was under the impression there was about 2 hours left. We're on chapter 6? I want to say we're on chapter 6. Unless I did one chapter a stream, in which case I'm on chapter 5. Maybe Sony can help. On the road to Cauldron Lake. Game progress 85%. That feels pretty close.
My plan back in the well-lit room. I'd acted as if I knew what I was doing. I didn't. I was operating on the shifting logic of a dream. I had to fight my way to the lake through the horrors of the night. I had to flick an old battered light switch imbued with childhood magic. I had to write a happy ending to a horror story. I had to save my wife from the dark prison she was being held in.
That's what I thought as well. But maybe I did a stream where I did 2 chapters or something. This week has been a blur. Been so busy. Right now, Onechanbara is winning the poll. At least it was before I started streaming today. That's on PlayStation Plus Extra, which I have access to. Honestly, the hunting rifle's kind of better. Don't get as many shots, but they tend to kill in one shot. I'm going to hold on to my hunting rifle.
I will never give her to you.
Oh, nice. You tell me this isn't a survival horror game? Really? One shot remaining in this. I'll have to bring out the, not so much the big guns, because this gun's bigger, but, the more powerful guns, so to speak. That just for an optional manuscript page? Come on. No, I definitely have to go through there. I'm missing. You fuck off, mate. Thank you. No, it's very clear I do not have to go through here. How the fuck do I progress? Sing here. This. Come on, I'd have put a thermos here.
I could see Mirror Peak in the distance. That's where Cauldron Lake was.
Mirror Peak is how far away? Damn, if the roads weren't out, maybe I could just drive there. Oh great, minecart. Reminding me of the open season video game. There's a minecart level in that. Yeah, fuck you two birdies. Is the American countryside really this dangerous? Specifically the, like, Washington countryside. Washington State. Come on. Hey, Vlad. I was lamenting the fact that, that you peer pressured me into buying Final Fantasy 16 yesterday. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. A little. When you apply some pressure... What you did, you applied some pressure. Where did they come from? And don't say they're mothers. They come from... Oh, they're mothers. Oh, for fuck's sake! If it's good dick, you might as well suck it. I'll let you know if I think it's good dick when my copy arrives. Kind of a waste. The revolver and the flare gun look so similar just from their icons. But I glance up in the top right and it looks like I got the revolver equipped, and then when I fire it's the flare gun and I'm like, ugh. So in other words, it's nothing like a Final Fantasy game. Well, that's good to know. Oh my god. Cauldron Lake, right? And Barbara Jagger is like a witch. It's her cauldron. How many hours have I put into this game? And I've only just realized it? Furthermore, Mirror Peak, get this, Twin Peaks. I'm kicking myself for being so dense. God is awake. I can't believe it. Oh, for fuck's sake, it's another one of these! Fucking bastards. Starting to really hate this game now. From a core gameplay loop point of view. And this chapter definitely is dragged out. They definitely are dragging this one out. Yeah, story's okay. It's no Max Payne, but it's alright. I like the story, world, characters, and technical aspects of Remedy games more than I like their gameplay. You're gonna blow my mind a little. That's not hard. Baba Yaga. Right, okay, yeah. That makes sense. You know, the house is on top of a lake, on stilts. You know, like Baba Yaga's house is on stilts. I can sort of see that, yeah. Plays into the whole, like, Norse mythology, old gods of Asgard and all that. Yeah, fair dues. That makes sense, yeah. Of course, that plays into the whole cryptids thing, and, you know, the whole SCP aspect of Control. That explains how it can all be related, because Alan Wake is very much about, you know, cryptids and ooparts, and Control is all about, like, cryptids and ooparts. Remedy definitely wear their influence on their sleeves when it comes to that. Valkyr is the name of the drug in Max Payne. Looks like there's about to be a major fight here, doesn't it? Is there anything like that in Quantum Break? Because that's the one I haven't played. That's the one I have, like, no frame of reference for. The Quantum Break is more Hollywood then, and then... So, like, the Taken... Not, like, Taken as in, like, these guys, but Taken as in, like, Liam Neeson. I hear Quantum Break's pretty good. It's a bit bothered by the install size, you know. But now I've got fiber internet, like, I can just stream the cutscenes. Don't need to install it. It's kind of weird that they went for that, though. I'm curious how that whole TV program, things changing based on your gameplay, sort of works. I don't know whether to do 2 months of spooky streams or to try 3 months again. The last time we did 3 months, it was a disaster.
Turn back now.
You know, Alan Wake is basically a scary game, and I'm playing it now. Not bad. I feel like I handled that pretty well. Go back and get that ammunition. No. I can't now. Back down there, I can pick up the flashlight batteries. That's about it.
Do as you're told.
As I'm told. No. Shit's boring.
Has never loved you.
Alice never loved me. I don't know. That's crazy talk for someone within flashlight distance. Don't make me use the clicker. I'll fucking use the clicker. I'll fucking do it. I'll use the clicker.
You can't win.
Watch your step, Parker. Welcome back.
into its heart to hurt it.
You will fail. You're making this up.
This was it. The moment I'd been waiting for. I went up to the counter and I ordered my Grimace shake.
Hell!
Shh, baby. You were having a bad dream. It was just another nightmare.
No,
Everything's fine. You're home.
it wasn't a dream.
Everything's fine.
Turn the lights on. Turn the lights on!
Shh, babe. The power's out. There's no light. Come back to bed and I'll make you forget all about your fear.
My fear? It's your fear. Why aren't you afraid? You're not Alice. Turn the lights on now. Where's the clicker? What did you do with it?
Alan, honey, you're still 1 foot in a dream. You're not making any sense. Come back to bed.
Danganronpa versions of the Grimace meme. Oh, that's great.
Alan, you're scaring me now. Come back to bed. Are you taking your pills? Do you want me to call Dr. Hartman?
Oh dear God. It's all in my head.
It's brilliant. Departure is your best work yet. You're a genius. I'm so proud of you. Come back to me. Stop worrying about the other one.
It was all in my head. My irrational hatred of my doctor.
Come back to bed, Alan.
Come
Yo.
back to bed.
There was a word. There was a word hovering over it. Word clicker was hovering.
You must find your way to the cabin. It stands in your way. It won't let you pass. It has no heart. It's filled with darkness.
It was all in my head.
You must fill
But
its heart
she's
with
touching
light.
his chest now. He takes off her dress now. Let me go to the cabin on the lake. I just can't look. It's killing me and taking control.
Don't mind him. He's Mr. Scratch. Your friends will need
Mr.
to
Scratch.
go on.
What a very Stephen King thing to call him. Mr. Scratch.
Use the clicker.
Whoa! Hold what? Bird. Thermos. What? I love this. I love this mechanic. Telephone pole. Oh, this mechanic is great. path. Oh.
I'm leaving you. What? I'm leaving you, Howard. I'm not saying. I'm in love with someone else.
In love with someone else?
No, what do you say? You can't.
Don't you want to answer the phone, though? Is it ringing?
Torture yourself with work you can't do anymore.
No, I love you more than anything in the world. You're my muse.
I'm not.
Who are you? What have you done with my Alice?
I followed the idea of her path.
It wasn't true. Nothing like that had ever happened.
Oh, why haven't I got the lantern anymore? I had ridden myself across the ocean. This mechanic is so cool. What I love about the adaptive triggers on this version is you hold ever so light, you just aim. Hold hard, you apply pressure. It's beautiful. You can aim without applying pressure. I don't know if it's the same on all platforms. But it feels really good. There's just a little bit of resistance there.
Tiny, naughty boy. I will help you reach your masterpiece. I will love you forever.
No, you're not Barbara Jagger. I made a terrible mistake. I should have never written you back. You came back wrong. Your heart is filled with darkness.
Bird leg cabin. Knife away, Thomas. I wonder how much this freaked my brother out. When he played it back in the day. There it is. There's the cabin.
Get away from me, you hag! Where am I? Let me go!
Alice, I'm coming.
Your husband refused to do as he was told. All he had to do was write what I wanted him to write.
All he had to do was follow the damn train.
Now you will never get her back.
Got a hole straight through her.
I am much older than you. Older than your first work of art. I will find a new face to wear. Someone else to dream me free.
I know that's meant to be, like, narratively striking, but I just found that shot fucking hilarious. Like, I've seen a similar shot in a JonTron video. Ah! Like, shining out of every orifice. Even after they've been remastered and replaced in these cutscenes, they're still like mannequins.
I could feel Alice's presence close by. I understood what I had to do now. I knew how to write the ending to Departure. There's light and there's darkness. Cause and effect. There's guilt and there's atonement. But the scales always need to balance. Everything has a price. That's where Zane had gone wrong. There's a long journey through the night back into the light. Alice? Alice? Oh no!
I hear that there's big chunks of Dark Tower that are like that. I guess spoilers for people who haven't read Dark Tower. Don't worry, I haven't either. But Stephen King himself becomes a character in the Dark Tower books, or so I hear. That's quite similar to Thomas Sane writing himself into a story as Alan Wake. Another Dark Tower? Or did I miss that one? I might have missed that one. It's hard to get 7 books into a single film. But I mean, if it's all Wild Westy and gunslingery, I'll probably check it out. Because that's the Dark Tower stuff I like, is like the first book. The sort of like more Wild West sort of stuff. I've never been much of a reader, I must say. I used to be as a kid, and then I got very ill. And all I could do when I was ill was read. And I made myself sick of reading. Had, I think it was noro, vomiting bug, like a really nasty case of it as a teenager, and all I could do when I was ill was read. Didn't have the energy for anything else. It put me off reading books. And, you know, since then, I've just agita. My hands have to be doing something. I hate the idea of sitting there and reading a book. Maybe one day I'll get me out of that and get myself back into reading, because I did used to love reading. You have an ebook reader and it has achievements. I got a Nintendo DS. I could pick up, 500 classic books or whatever it's called. Alan, wake up! So, there's DLC for this game. 3 chapters. We've got the game done in the month. Just about. Let's have a look on how long to beat. The Signal, 2 hours. Well, 1 hour. The writer, 1 hour. So, if the story DLCs are an hour each, I only just realized it was, fucking Space Oddity. Yeah, looks like One Chanbara is going to be the poll winner, which is fine. The list is 4 games that, you know, I desperately wanted to play. You know, this is here, sitting here waiting. am I sitting in a tin can? Ooh, oh, sardines. I should put this on the poll. Bibi Blocksberg. Das große Hexenbessenrennen 3. Auf in die Lufte. Grüßel dich in Transsilvanien. Flitze durch die Dinosaurier seid. Entdecke den Punten Orient. Auf in der Lufte. Eine wilde Hexenrallye beginnt. Bibi und ihr Freundinnen schwingen sich auf ihre Hexenbesen und entdecken spannende Welten. Mit geheimen Hexen. And you pronounce the second vowel in German, so mit geheimen Hexentranken und turbulenten Flugmanövern sausen sie durch Transsilvanien, den Orient und die Dinosaurier Zeit. Always thought BB was exclusively a German and Eastern Europe thing. Yeah, this is a German copy, in case the Bogenscheißening wasn't obvious. I actually own this on Steam, but finding out that Zeit is like the Z in Pretzel. Zeit. Zitz. When I was a kid, I had a DOS game called Zitz, and you had two fingers on a mouse cursor, and you had to go across a person's face and pop the zits. And as the game continued, more and more zits appeared, and you had to pop them before they went bad. I had the best DOS games. This was a good experience. I'm glad I played through Alan Wake. I'm glad I saw it through. Because I think I stopped when... Yeah, I stopped at the bit where you have to follow the doctor around, and he's like, "Now you see, Alan, you're an idiot. And you're imagining this whole thing." And auto-scrollers turn me off in games, because I've got to be, like, constantly active. I've got to be doing something. And that kind of bored the shit out of me. So, I think I stopped there on Xbox 360. I can easily find out by loading up the Xbox 360 version and seeing what the last story achievement I got was. Now tell me where I got up to. Turkish reviewer. Original Alan Wake credits, let's go. Original console version. One of these words is redundantly redundant. Sam Lake? It wasn't a Sam Lake, it was a Sam Ocean. Sam Lake? Technology, programming, Sam Lake. Core technology, Sam Lake. Rendering engine, Sam Lake. Level design, Sam Lake. Level animator, Sam Lake. Do the face for us again, Sam. So, pretty much confirmed now, those Max Payne remakes are going to use the voice actors developed at our offices on beautiful Lake Sound. The Max Payne remakes are going to use the voice actors' likeness for the face. Pretty much confirmed now. Just kind of disappointing. I was hoping to see Sam Lake's face on Max. I'm hoping that they add it as like an extra, a bonus. I wonder if they'll remaster the multiplayer, because Max Payne 2, for some reason, had a multiplayer mode. Or at the very least, like a wave-based mode. I'm curious if they'll bother remastering that or not. Alice's voice actress. Oh. You heard, David Bowie there, and, you know, we lost Bowie in 2016? So, that's going to happen with games like this. You're going to be looking at you're going to see plenty of names here of people that are no longer with us. So that's Alan Wake Remastered. I got Alan Wake Remastered in a 3-for-2 pre-owned with Kenna Bridge of Spirits and Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba The Hinokami Chronicles. I slapped Kenna onto the poll, but Kenna's not winning. I thought about putting Kimetsu no Yaiba on the poll, but I ultimately decided not to. I'm supposed to hate Kimetsu no Yaiba. Like, I'm supposed to hate it because one of the copyright owners for the show took away my live streaming permissions for 3 months on YouTube and hit me with a copyright strike. So I'm supposed to hate Demon Slayer. You know, I haven't watched it. I haven't watched any more than one episode of Demon Slayer. I probably would have watched it by now. All of it. Oh, the Rumble Strips. I've heard of them. Poets of the Fall. 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 Umbra must be the name of the in-house engine. I wonder if they just like bolted stuff onto it and like Control is still running on Umbra, or if they built something new. Okay. Do we or don't we? Do we cut it short now and do the two of these in a stream on their own? Ah, Northlight. So Umbra is something else, like a middleware maybe? So did I get every radio call? How would I know? Well, normally you would get a trophy pop-up, but I don't actually have my notifications on. I bring up the full trophy list? Yeah, let's have a look. You shone a light upon this night of otherworldly fiends. Not a bird lover. Well, I'm not, but apparently I didn't get that. Whatever that is. Yeah. Good luck getting that one. Hidden chests. Yeah, so I missed a radio show somewhere. I missed a Night Springs somewhere. Just close this off now. Have a fairly early night. Come back bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and do the DLCs tomorrow. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. Maybe try ripping another VHS tomorrow. See if I can figure out... Stays up for 3 more hours anyway. Well, I did just drink a G Fuel. Last night I really struggled to get to sleep. As it turns out, my window was shut. All day, because I did recording for the review earlier in the day. Forgot to open the window. So this room became an oven. And I had the fan on, and all the fan was doing was blowing warm air at me. So I fucked that up. Took me forever to get to sleep. I figured my window was shut. Then, like, half asleep. Oh my god, up. Window open. Fall back down onto the bed. Managed to get to sleep after that. I know I'm feeling a bit exhausted. The last couple of days is, you know, catching up with me, and this has become a nice, well, you can see it, yellow bruise. Whacked against the fucking storage unit, right? This was a couple of days ago. Slipped on the lino. Big box full of games out my hand. Arm on the fucking Hilka unit. Whack. Ah! Top of my lungs. Fucking lino. That is still mean. That is still mean to the touch. It's a little bit more sleep might, you know. Because your body recovers best when it's asleep, right? A little bit more sleep, maybe that'll clear that up. Because it just looks like fucking jaundice. It's that yellow. Anyway, thank you very much for coming. We finished Alan Wake. Tomorrow I would like to play The Writer and the Signal. And then at some point next month, July, 2 days' time, at some point next month, I would like to fit in American Nightmare. Okay? Thank you very much for coming. Until next time, if we live that long, take care. Bye-bye.